Update on our next expansion's release date. Message from the game director. I wanted to share an update regarding the launch timing of our next expansion for Guild Wars 2. While we released our last two expansions in August, we made the decision to shift our next expansion launch to October. This extra time will allow us to ensure the expansion meets our quality standards without crunching. This change for the 6th expansion would not impact the release timing of the final quarterly update for Guild Wars 2 Janthea Wilds. We appreciate your patience and support as we take this time needed to bring the next chapter of Guild Wars 2 to life. We'll be sharing some more information about our next expansion this summer, and in the meantime, we have more content and events coming up to keep the adventure going, including the final quarterly release for Guild Wars 2 Janthea Wilds. As always, thanks for being a part of the Guild Wars 2 community. That is from Grouch over there as well. So basically a bit of a delay. It's going to be a 2-month delay. Well, yeah, probably like a 2-month delay approximately, like 1.5, 2-month delay, or, you know, well, anywhere between 1 and 2 months really of a delay for the expansion. I actually don't hate this at all. I'm going to be real, guys. I think anything that allows them to like squeeze in more content, I would say, like, you know, to like squeeze in a little bit more to the launch is good, because I think Janthea Wilds was an expansion that was a little bit light on the launch, if you guys know what I'm saying. There was maybe a little bit of a lack of juice. But yeah, it does mean that there is going to be, you know, a pretty hefty gap between the content. Yeah, exactly what Benjamin's saying here. It's going to be, wait, what? Let's see, when is the next patch coming out? Approximately, again, guys, it did change last time, so let's be aware of that. But 78 days... which is when 78 days from now, that is going to be June 3rd, actually, is when the next patch is theoretically coming out. So in 78 days. So that means it'll be what? June, July, August, September, then October. So yeah, like potentially, well, it's more like 5 months almost, right? It could be a 5-month moment between. It kind of depends like where exactly in October we're going to be seeing that release. But yeah, it's going to be 4 to 5 months of no content basically, which is, that is going to feel long. That is going to be a long one, because I'm not going to lie, it did feel like a really big gap between update 1 and update 2 of Janthea Wilds already. And it's going to feel like a really, really long gap. That obviously really sucks. But I do think it is better to, you know, to actually be, you know, clear and communicate about this. And kind of explain what's going on, rather than just kind of like, you know, leave everyone in the dark. These are the fractals more polished. Well, this is not really affecting the development of the fractal in any way. They kind of explicitly said that. They're not delaying the next patch, just the expansion. So that's the situation there. But yeah, it's kind of like 4 to 5 months with without content in the game. So yeah, I mean, look, you know, the cadence they've gone for, like they may need to refine their They may need to refine their cadence a little bit here, because again, I do think that there are still some problems with the model. Look, okay, look, guys, do not clip this and share this with the casuals. I think it's interesting that they focus so much on the raid. I think it's very clear they focused quite a lot on the raid for this expansion. And look, guys, this is very much a zero-sum game. That's going to come at a cost everywhere else, right? Like in the game, like with the other PvE content. That might have been a little bit, you know, overcooked. They might have gone too hard on that. And, you know, we're kind of facing the consequences of that. But, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I still think that there's a couple of problems with the implementation of the model. I think a lot of it comes down to like, well, I don't know. We need to go and do like a history lesson or something, guys. That's what we really need to do, because I am really curious with like, I want to like examine what happened with like the other with old content patches and stuff, because like what I'm really curious about is like, how much content did we used to get? Are we getting less content or more now, you know? A decent amount of content. I mean, I feel like the story is very light. Like, the amount of story content you get is, like, very, very light. Balance and wolves with PvP. That's the rub. Well, yeah, that is exactly the rub. It's like how to kind of juggle all of these plates. Juggle all of these spinning plates, right? Like, that's what ArenaNet has to deal with here. And I do think that the players that are getting left out are the story players. I think the story players are kind of reminiscing of, like, Season 4. And they were kind of eating pretty good, right? You had a new map every time. that often had a bunch of events on it, often a meta event attached to it. The story was, I feel like the story was a fair bit longer. I don't know. And I think those players are the ones that are actually getting they're a bit hard done by currently. Story's the biggest hit, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of my read on it as well, and they do need to solve that because that is the majority of their player base. That's the big one. And I seem to recall that when I played through Path of Fire on launch, I think it took like 8 hours to play. Like I think Janthir Wilds took like I want to say like 3 hours to play through. And that's not bad considering that, you know, Janthir Wilds is basically like, you know, it's half the release schedule of like a regular Guild Wars 2 expansion. But I think it is these follow-up updates. Like these follow-up updates are like 45 minutes of story. Like that is a problem. Like that is definitely an issue. They need to try and figure that out. They do need to figure that out. They really do.